COVID-19 and influenza are both cause the respiratory disease, and there are 7 differences between coronavirus and influenza. Without further ado, let's check it out.
The first difference between COVID-19 virus and influenza virus is the speed of transmission. This is an important point of difference between the two viruses. Influenza has a shorter median incubation period and shorter serial interval than COVID-19 virus. Median incubation period is the time from infection to appearance of symptoms. Then, serial interval is the time between successive cases. The serial interval for COVID-19 virus is estimated to be 5 to 6 days, while for influenza virus the serial interval is 3 days. This means that influenza can spread faster than COVID-19. Second difference between influenza and COVID-19 is major driver of transmission. Future transmission in the first 3 to 5 days of illness or potentially pre-symptomatic transmission is a major driver of transmission for influenza. In contrast, while we are learning that there are people who can shed COVID-19 virus 24 to 48 hours prior to symptom onset, at present, this does not appear to be a major driver of transmission.
Third difference is children are important drivers of influenza virus transmission in the community, whereas COVID-19 virus initial indicate data that children are less affected than adults and that clinical attack rates in the 0 until 19 age group are low. Further preliminary data from household transmission studies in China suggest that children are infected for adults rather than vice versa. While the range of symptoms for the two viruses is similar, the fraction with severe disease appears to be different. For COVID-19, data to date suggests that 18% are infection are mild or asymptomatic, 15% are severe infection requiring oxygen, and 5% are critical infection requiring ventilation. This fraction of severe and critical infection would be higher than what is observed for influenza infection.
Those most at risk for the severe influenza infection are children, pregnant women, elderly, those with underlying chronic medical condition, and those who are immunosuppressed. On the other hand, COVID-19, our current understanding is that older age and underlying condition increase the risk for several infections. Mortality for COVID-19 appears higher than for influenza, especially seasonal influenza, while the true mortality of COVID-19 will take some time for fully understand. The data we have so far indicate that the crude mortality ratio, or the number of reported deaths divided by the reported case, is between 3 to 4%. The infection mortality rate, or the number of reported deaths divided by the number of infection, will be lower. For seasonal influenza, mortality is usually well below 0.1%. However, mortality is to a large extent determined by access to and equality of health care.
Well, there are a number of therapeutics in clinical trials in China and more than 20 vaccines in development for COVID-19. There are currently no licensed vaccine or therapeutics for COVID-19. In contrast, antivirus and vaccines are available for influenza. While the influenza vaccine isn't effective against the COVID-19 virus, it is highly recommended to get vaccine each year to prevent influenza infection. In conclusion, there are many different things between coronavirus and influenza to help us know how to treat this disease. So, just stay at home right now and stay safe.